Fleming 58 vs Nordhavn 60. It's caught here. If you like my content and feel able to, please do like it or follow my blogs, Spotify and YouTube channels or Facebook channel. It would mean and help an awful lot. Thank you. https://korg9000.wordpress.com/ Fleming 58 vs Nordhavn 60. The gentleman's long-distance cruiser meets the oceanic bulldozer. There are few things more likely to provoke a heated argument among serious cruising boat owners than suggesting that two apparently similar yachts might actually be designed for rather different purposes. The Fleming 58 and Nordhavn 60 are both large, long-range motor yachts. Both are built from fiberglass, both have raised pilot houses, both are designed to cross oceans rather than merely potter down to cows for lunch, and both are capable of making their owners feel considerably poorer while simultaneously making them feel extremely smug. But that is where the similarities begin to run out. The Fleming is the yacht for somebody who believes that ocean cruising should involve some speed, comfort and the occasional bit of enthusiasm with the throttles. The Nordhavn, meanwhile, takes the view that if the Atlantic Ocean wanted to get somewhere quickly, it should have bought a faster boat. This is not really a battle between two trawlers. It is a battle between two philosophies of cruising. The numbers. On paper, the Fleming 58 is the smaller boat, although things are not quite as simple as the badge suggests. The hull is 62 feet 9 inches long, while the overall length including the swim platform and anchor platform stretches to 65 feet 9 inches. Beam is 17 feet 6 inches and draft a comparatively modest 5 feet. Loaded displacement is around 105,600 pound. The Nordhavn 60 measures 62 feet 6 inches overall, with a 57 feet 3 inches waterline, an 18 feet beam and a substantial 6 feet 8 inches draft. Displacement is approximately 138,000 pound. Sight turn 0 search 34 turn 0 search 0. That last figure tells you quite a lot. The Nordhavn is a seriously heavy piece of machinery. It has considerable ballast, a deep hull and the sort of displacement which makes you suspect that somewhere underneath the waterline it has railway sleepers. The Fleming is lighter and shallower. It is still a substantial ocean-going yacht, but it is designed with a degree of performance in mind. And that becomes very obvious when you look at the engines. The Fleming, speed when you want it. The Fleming 58 is fitted with twin-man i6-800 diesels in the later specification, each producing 800 HP. That gives the Fleming a remarkable turn of speed for a vessel of this type. Maximum speed is around 20 knots, with a cruising speed of approximately 16 knots. At economical displacement cruising speeds, she can settle down around the 8-9 knot mark. 20 knots. This is rather like discovering that your sensible Volvo estate has secretly been fitted with a Porsche engine. The great advantage is flexibility. You can cross oceans economically at trawler speeds, but if weather closes in, an appointment suddenly becomes important, or you simply get bored with looking at the same bit of sea, the Fleming has the ability to put some distance behind her. Her range is around 1,790 nautical miles at approximately 8.7 knots, depending upon specification and loading. Fuel capacity is 1,450 US gallons, or about 5,488 liters. This is substantial cruising capability, although it is not Nordhavn territory. The Nordhavn speed is relative. The Nordhavn 60 approaches the business from almost the opposite direction. A typical N60 has a single John Deere 6090 producing 325 HP, although twin-engine configurations have also been offered. At around 8.25 knots, the standard boat is capable of approximately 3,000 nautical miles of range, with a top speed in the region of 9.5 knots. That means the Nordhavn can travel roughly twice as far as the Fleming while carrying vastly less horsepower. It also means that overtaking a Fleming is not really part of the Nordhavn's mission statement. The Fleming owner might say, "We're doing 16 knots." The Nordhavn owner will probably reply, "That's nice," and then continue doing 8.25 knots until the next continent. The Nordhavn carries 2,250 US gallons of fuel, equivalent to approximately 8,517 liters, along with a remarkably generous 600 gallons of fresh water. Site Turn 0 Search 0. This is a yacht designed around autonomy. The underlying philosophy is simple: slow down, carry lots of fuel, carry lots of water, keep everything accessible and make the boat capable of remaining at sea for long periods without drama. At sea. This is where the Nordhavn really earns its reputation. The deep hull, substantial displacement and ballast give it a very different character from the Fleming. The N60 is designed to be comfortable when the sea stops behaving like a brochure. There is a certain reassurance in a Nordhavn's bulk. It does not so much ride over waves as negotiate with them. The deep draft and heavy displacement contribute to directional stability and seakeeping, while active stabilizers reduce rolling both underway and at anchor. Bow and stern thrusters are available, and the boat's systems are built around serious long-distance operation. Site Turn 0 Search 0 Turn 0 Search 1. The Fleming is no lightweight when it comes to seaworthiness either. Its semi-displacement hull gives it a much broader performance envelope, and its stabilization system is designed to make extended passages comfortable. But there is an important distinction. The Fleming gives you the ability to go fast. The Nordhavn gives you the ability to go slowly through fairly horrible conditions without wondering whether you have made a terrible mistake. For genuine ocean passage making, the Nordhavn's philosophy is difficult to fault. Accommodation. Here the Fleming starts fighting back. The 58 offers 3 cabins and can accommodate around 6 guests, with a master cabin, twin accommodation and additional bunk arrangements depending upon layout. There are 2 heads, with some configurations allowing a third. It is therefore particularly attractive to a cruising couple who expect friends or family to join them. The Nordhavn 60 generally has 2 substantial guest cabins plus the master, and can also have crew accommodation. Its interior is built around the idea of living aboard for extended periods rather than simply entertaining at weekends. The Nordhavn consequently feels more like a floating expedition base. The Fleming feels more like an extremely luxurious country house which has accidentally acquired an engine room. Both interiors can be beautifully finished, with substantial quantities of timber, quality cabinetry and the sort of galley equipment which suggests that the chef is not expected to survive exclusively on pot noodles. The Fleming, however, has the edge for owners who want a more traditional cruising yacht atmosphere. Decks, tenders and practical matters. The Nordhavn's additional length over the old N55 design was deliberately used to increase cockpit and lazarette space, while also allowing more room on the boat deck for a larger tender and water toys. This is important because long-range cruising is rarely just about the yacht. You need a tender. You need diving equipment. You need spare parts. You need bicycles, paddleboards, tools, fishing equipment, inflatable things which seemed like a good idea at the boat show, and probably 20 liters of cleaning products. And then there is the small matter of everything you bought in the last port because it was interesting. The Nordhavn's expeditionary layout handles this sort of life extremely well. The Fleming is also extremely practical, but its priorities are slightly different. It is a yacht intended to combine serious cruising capability with conventional yacht comfort. Engineering. This is another fascinating difference. The Fleming's twin-engine arrangement provides redundancy and substantial performance. If one engine misbehaves, the other can still get you home, albeit rather more slowly and with considerably less smugness. The Nordhavn's single-engine philosophy is more controversial to some owners, but the simplicity has considerable advantages. There is one main engine to maintain, one propeller system and fewer major mechanical components. A wing engine can provide additional emergency propulsion. The Nordhavn also uses a dry exhaust and keel cooling in its standard specification, which reflects its emphasis on reliability and long-term passage making. Sight turn 0 search 0 turn 0 search 1. The Fleming is more sophisticated in the performance sense, but the Nordhavn's engineering philosophy is deliberately conservative. Neither is cheap to maintain. Anyone buying either boat on the theory that fiberglass does not rust and therefore ownership is inexpensive should immediately be escorted from the marina. Which one would you actually buy? That depends entirely upon what you want to do with it. If your dream is to cruise from Southampton to the Mediterranean, spend several weeks island hopping, occasionally cross an ocean and generally enjoy the journey rather than simply surviving it, the Fleming 58 is enormously attractive. It has the speed to make coastal passages genuinely useful. It offers excellent accommodation, has a relatively shallow draft and combines long-range capability with conventional yacht manners. It is also the more entertaining boat. The Nordhavn 60 is the choice for the person whose cruising itinerary begins with the words, "We're going to cross the Pacific." It is heavier, deeper, slower and carries substantially more fuel and water. Its range is in another league. Its philosophy is uncompromisingly about long-distance passage making and living aboard. There is something deeply appealing about that. The Nordhavn does not need to impress the marina crowd. It does not need to look fast. It does not need to pretend that the ocean is a swimming pool. It simply sits there, looking vaguely indestructible, waiting for you to point it towards somewhere several thousand miles away. Verdict: the Fleming 58 is the better all-rounder. The Nordhavn 60 is the better ocean-going machine. If you want a yacht capable of doing 8 knots economically but also 16-20 knots when circumstances demand it, the Fleming is the obvious winner. It gives you far greater flexibility and, frankly, considerably more fun. But if your priority is range, autonomy, heavy weather capability and the confidence to disappear over the horizon for weeks at a time, the Nordhavn is in another class. The Fleming is the gentleman's express train. The Nordhavn is the Trans-Siberian Railway. Both will get you there. One simply assumes that getting there might be rather more interesting than the other. And, ultimately, that is the choice. Fleming 58, faster, more versatile, more sociable and easier to use as a conventional luxury motor yacht. Nordhavn 60, slower, heavier, deeper, immensely capable and built around the rather wonderful idea that the nearest useful piece of land may be several thousand miles away. For the Mediterranean and occasional ocean crossing, I'd take the Fleming. For the Pacific, the Atlantic in earnest, or the irresistible desire to tell people in the yacht club that you don't really do marinas, I'd take the Nordhavn. Just don't expect to get there quickly. You bought a Nordhavn. You knew this was going to happen. It's caught here. If you like my content and feel able to, please do like it or follow my blogs, Spotify and YouTube channels or Facebook channel. It would mean and help an awful lot. Thank you. https://korg9000.wordpress.com/. Thank you for listening.